Welcome back to the Revolve Kitchen, where we make good food the right way. Today I'm going to show you a winter staple recipe, elderberry syrup. Now this is a great recipe to have on hand in your fridge during winter because elderberry is traditionally known to help ease or prevent cold and flu symptoms. And I love to make my own at home because 1, it's super easy, it just takes a few minutes of effort and 4 simple ingredients. 2, it's much cheaper than store-bought versions. I'm talking just a few dollars to make a solid mason jar of syrup. And 3, it's naturally sweetened, whereas the ones you buy in the store are usually packed with cane sugar. So I'm going to show you the super easy way to make the syrup, and then I'll show you how I use it to make nourishing, gut-healing gelatin gummies. So stay tuned to the end to see how I make those gummies that are perfect for wintertime illness. All right, let's get started. So to make this elderberry syrup, we're going to start with a decoction. And to decoct just means to extract the nutrients by heating or boiling. So take a medium-sized saucepan and add in half a cup of dried elderberries. I also like to add a stick of cinnamon, and then pour over your 2 cups of cold filtered water. We're going to put that on the stove, bring it to a boil, and then reduce the heat to medium and let it simmer for 30 to 40 minutes or until it's reduced by half. So this is when it's reduced. I let it sit for another 30 minutes to really let the nutrients get into the liquid. And now you strain it and you should have 1 cup of liquid since it has reduced by half. Strain it out, let it cool completely, and then we're going to add the zest of 1 lemon and the juice of 1 lemon. Now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of raw local honey. I like to do this when it's cooled because if you add it when the liquid is too hot, you can heat up the honey and detract some of its health properties. I love to have this elderberry syrup in my fridge during the winter because elderberry is known to prevent or ease cold and flu symptoms. It's a really great source of antioxidants and vitamins that can support your immune system. So I always have a batch in my fridge in the winter. So here you have your syrup. You can put it into a container that can be sealed and stored in the fridge. And you can use this in so many different ways. You can add it to some sparkling water to make a spritzer, take a tablespoon when you're not feeling well. But one of my favorite ways is to make these elderberry gummies. So I'm going to measure out half a cup of the decoction and 3/4 of a cup of water. And then I'm going to sprinkle over 3 tablespoons of grass-fed gelatin. And I'm going to stir it together and let it bloom. This means that the mixture is going to get nice and thick as the gelatin starts to incorporate with the liquid. Now while that blooms, in a saucepan add half a cup of water. And then another 1/4 cup of your elderberry syrup. We're going to bring that to the stove and heat it up just slightly so that it's warm. And then once it's warm, combine in your gelatin mixture into the warm elderberry water mixture. And then we're going to whisk that together until it's fully combined and smooth, no more lumps. And at this point, your gummies are ready to be poured into a container so that they can set in the fridge. I really like these super cubes because they make perfect little squares that you can pop out really easily because it's food grade silicone, but you can also use a glass baking tray or just a glass food container and then cut it up into squares once it's set. So once you pour it into the container, you're going to set that in the fridge and let it set completely. It should take about 4 or 5 hours, but you can also leave it overnight. And here you have the perfect snack to have on hand during winter season when colds and flus come around more often so that you won't feel as sick, and you can give these to your kids. Kids love them. They taste delicious. They have the sweetness from the honey and the great fruitiness from the elderberry. So go make these, stock your fridge with a nice immune boosting snack.